Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas. We bring you the latest in everything cool every single day around here. This one is going out to our pal AJ Coe, who thinks we're trying to kill him with all the good news that we had in the rundown yesterday. No, we're not trying to kill you. We love you, man. And in fact, this rundown is dedicated to you. Apparently, E3 has already started because one of the most heroic games from the show has already been announced. Following a leak yesterday afternoon, Warner Brothers and NetherRealm Studios have officially unmasked Injustice 2, a sequel to the 2013 DC Comics fighting game. No gameplay has yet been released, but there is a cool cinematic teaser that actually looks better than a recent big-screen DC movie that was so bad we won't bother naming. Like the original game, Injustice 2 will let players battle each other using the best DC heroes and villains, and because this is a sequel, there will be more characters and arenas than ever before. The biggest new feature is the gear system, which allows players to customize their own versions of Batman, Superman, and the other fighters. The way it works is that in each match, you'll get loot drops that can be turned into character-specific gear and power-ups, allowing you to change the look and fighting style of your favorite characters. I wonder how many different versions of Batman I can come up with. Injustice 2 will also have a new story that sees Batman and Superman once again leading a fight against each other, although why they're fighting when their mothers have the same first name is an obvious plot hole that the game has yet to address. You'll be able to play Injustice 2 on the PS4 and Xbox One next year. And another group of DC characters are coming together for an even darker project. A new DC animated movie based on the Justice League Dark comics is in the works. An early look at the film will be included as a bonus feature with the latest DC animated movie, Batman the Killing Joke, which arrives in August, so expect Justice League Dark to follow sometime next year. In the comics, Justice League Dark is exactly what it sounds like, a dark version of the Justice League with a roster of anti-heroes that includes Constantine, Zatanna, and others. This seems like the perfect property for the DC animation team to take on. Because their films are meant to appeal to a more niche audience, they have more creative freedom and can take risks with some of the lesser-known elements of the DC universe. There were rumors about a live-action Justice League Dark movie struggling to get off the ground for years, but that was put on hold in favor of the new DC Shared Cinematic Universe, which was set up by a recent big-screen movie that was so bad we won't bother naming. Expect more details on the Justice League Dark animated movie to be announced at Comic-Con next month. And in even more news from the DC Universe, putting together a super team of bad guys isn't quite as violent as you might think. The big-screen Suicide Squad movie will officially carry a PG-13 rating when it hits theaters. There had been some speculation that the film might get a more violent R rating following the success of the R-rated Deadpool from rivals Marvel and Fox, but director David Ayer says that Suicide Squad was always made with a PG-13 in mind. This is no reason to be concerned. There have been plenty of great PG-13 movies that have pushed the limits of violence and profanity, so it will be easy for Suicide Squad to be just as gritty as it should be. It arrives August 5th. There is still hope for an R-rated Suicide Squad movie, though. The last big-screen DC movie, which we won't bother naming, was also released with a PG-13 rating, but is getting an R-rated cut on Blu-ray. Suicide Squad will likely do the same.
Not good.
Most of us love to binge-watch TV shows, but it turns out there are certain kinds of TV shows that are more popular to binge than others. Netflix did a global examination of the 100 most popular shows available on their service to find out which are binge-watched the most, and the results might surprise you. It turns out action-oriented shows like Breaking Bad and horror shows like Hemlock Grove are the most popular to binge, with the average viewer watching more than 2 hours per sitting. Comedies like Orange is the New Black and superhero shows like Daredevil were binge-watched a little less. Finally, arguably the most famous Netflix show, House of Cards, was surprisingly binge-watched the least, with the average viewing coming in under 2 hours per sitting. Netflix guesses that this means audiences like to take their time and savor the more cerebral shows and plow through the more funny or action-oriented ones. That doesn't explain why Breaking Bad is binged the most, given how thought-provoking it is. So tell us what you think in the comments below.
I won.
Netflix is notoriously secretive when it comes to ratings, so it's rare for them to release this kind of information. Speaking of Netflix, the second season of their exclusive series Marco Polo will premiere on July 1st. I wonder how many people will binge watch that. And Marco Polo isn't the only Westerner to discover riches in China. The new Warcraft movie, based on the juggernaut video game franchise, is looting the box office in China like never before. It earned a massive $46 million in its opening day in the country, beating the previous record holder, the Avengers Age of Ultron, by almost $20 million. Given China's huge population, it's easily the most important emerging film market, and Hollywood studios have been putting more and more effort into getting their films released there. The fact that World of Warcraft is already huge in China and other Asian countries probably helped win over audiences. It remains to be seen if the film's success will carry over to North America. It opens here this Friday.
Don't try and take him on with brute force.
It seems like nobody wants to reveal their games at E3 anymore. Ubisoft has unveiled the previously announced Watch Dogs 2. Rather than wait for their press conference next week, they released a pair of cinematic trailers for the game this morning, confirming that it will take place in an open-world recreation of San Francisco. Players will take control of a new hero named Marcus Holloway. He's a young hacker out to bring down a self-aware operating system that has taken over the city, and because San Francisco is one of the most tech-integrated cities on the planet, you'll have a lot more hacking abilities at your disposal, controlling drones, cars, cranes, security robots, and more. You'll also be able to explore more than just San Francisco. Neighboring areas like Oakland and Silicon Valley will also be included in the map. Watch Dogs 2 will land November 15th on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Baz, if you want to.
And that wraps us up for today. We'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new rundown for you. Hey, thanks for checking out that video on our EPN channel. It's just one small part of the things that we make around here. So if you liked it, don't forget to check out some of our other vids and hit that subscribe button.